Hey everyone, I'm Seth from NVIDIA. We recently partnered up with Linus Tech Tips on their video to answer the question, does high FPS make you a better gamer? In this video, we worked closely with Linus, Shroud, MrGrimmmz, Corey, and Paul's Hardware, and would like to share some of our favorite moments with the GeForce community. Let us know what you think down below, and be sure to check out the full version on Linus's channel. Enjoy.
So to measure the impact of monitor refresh rate and FPS in-game on our subjects, we've built a suite of 5 tests, going from synthetic reaction time tests to aiming tests to putting the whole thing together. System number 1 is running an RTX 2060 Super, which is capable of running our test games today at anywhere from around 250 to 300 frames per second, and its monitor has been completely uncapped to 240 Hertz. This is our best case scenario for competitive gamers. System number 2 is at the other end of the spectrum. So our monitor refresh rate has been turned all the way down to 60 Hertz. But we went even further than that, because having a very high performance graphics card on a 60 Hertz display still does actually give you better responsiveness than if you had a lower performance graphics card. So we have dropped our GPU all the way down to a GTX 750. This is going to give us anywhere from 70 to 85 FPS in our games. And finally, by popular request, representing the middle ground, we've got our third monitor dialed into 144 Hertz and hooked up to a GTX 1650 that is going to push anywhere from around 150 to 185, 200 FPS. Test number 1 today is pure reaction time. Shroud clicks in order to indicate that he's ready for the test to begin, and as soon as it turns green, he clicks again as quickly as he can. This tells us his raw reflexes.
In my mind, I know that it does not feel good, right? Because I'm on 60 and I'm like, ugh, this feels terrible, but I actually haven't done legitimate like stats and break it down, and like maybe I did get less kills now.
Test number 2 is still a reaction time test, but this time it's a practical one. The classic double doors sniper position on Dust 2. So once you shoot to start, at random intervals, a counter-terrorist player is going to run across the door and jump across. Now, these are bots, so it will be in exactly the same location every time. So right there on the second line on the truck there is about where he's gonna cross.
How am I missing right now? Are we on 64 tick? I'm telling you, I hit this guy at least 3 times. Okay, that was a whiff, but it's just bad, I guess. This is hard, man.
Can you explain to both of us the science behind why those shots looked like they were hitting, but did not register?
Yeah, so at 60 frames in Hertz, you're kind of getting delay in 2 areas. You're getting delay from the game state to what's actually being shown on screen. So the guy's actually in a little bit different spot because the rendering took long enough to reach your monitor. Additionally, your input is also delayed. So when you click, that is going to take a little bit longer time to actually reach the game state. So you're getting kind of latency in both directions.
If you press it too soon, even though you feel like you're confident that you're gonna hit it right on the target, you're gonna hit it way before. So you have to like kind of enter in your head that it's like a slight pattern. Because this one you have to like master a delay. With the higher refresh rate, you just have to master more of a reaction time, I would say.
Right. High refresh rate doesn't make you a better gamer, but it makes it easier to be a better gamer.
I would say so, yeah.
Test number 3, we changed things up again. Your reaction time still matters a lot because you've only got 0.45 seconds to hit each target. This is a hard test.
Yeah.
Even 0.5 seconds would make a big difference because I could tell there were ones where you...
It was so close.
Next up is test number 4. So you need great reaction time so you can spot the bots popping up in our shooting gallery, and you need to make your flick shots because they're not going to stand still for long.
This makes me look like I don't know how to play the game. I swear it's the settings.
This one feels so weird though. I'm actually just hoping I hit it in time. Because I feel like I have a whole second delay, as if you would have a whole second more on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can definitely, it's weird. It feels like you actually have so much more time to react.
How many did you get?
8 of 10.
And how many did you get on 60?
2 out of 110, I think. I feel like I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm watching for him to just appear in the doorway and I'm clicking, but incredible difference in how effective I was at this test.
On this test, I got 9 out of 10 in comparison to the last test where I could barely get
2
one.
out of 30.
I could, how?
Sorry. So you literally 10x'd your result in the flick shooting challenge going from 60 to 240. Did it feel that much better?
Yes, I was hitting more shots, in particular the doorway on CSGO. I could barely touch it before, like such poor performance, and then suddenly I'm hitting 7 out of 10. So I can't accept responsibility myself, it's the technology that has given me this skill.
That was a completely different level.
Yeah, it feels very different.
19.16 seconds.
Yeah.
Compared to, weren't you more in the neighborhood of 30 at 60 hertz?
Yeah. I had 2 19s on 30 and I had like 35 one time and like 33. It's so much harder on the other setup.
So the way this test works is both competitors are going to be at the far end of a long hallway, and Seth from NVIDIA is going to be crouched behind a half-height wall and just popping up at random human intervals. Whoever kills him first gets a point. Oh, come on!
That's what I'm saying. There we go. That was hard. That was actually noticeably harder.
I still lost. So it's been about a week and we've had some time to dig into our data and our high-speed footage and see if using a high refresh rate monitor and a powerful graphics card like a GeForce RTX 2080 Ti can make you a better gamer. When it came to reacting to moving objects and timing, hit rates were way lower at 60 FPS 60 hertz than at our higher refresh rates. How do you like that machine?
This is rough.
We also have a couple of shots here where they look like they could have been hits, but ended up missing because at 60 frames per second, the target's location doesn't update as often, which meant that what our camera, and therefore your eyes, was seeing was already out of date by the time the shot landed. Everyone performed better with frame rates over 60 FPS, showing that with more information to predict trajectory and speed, everyone will perform better. We actually had Shroud repeat this test at 60 hertz on his monitor, but with a frame rate well above 200. And the result was much better because the input lag and overall latency is reduced, but he still didn't land as many hits as when he had both high FPS and a high refresh rate display. Did you feel like 240 hertz made a difference in that challenge?
Definitely does, for sure.
Yeah.
So overall, 60 FPS at 60 hertz clearly had the worst results in every test. The consistency between runs was usually much better at 240 hertz, and the most predictable improvements were actually found in the more casual players who didn't have as much game sense and muscle memory to rely on. I wasn't surprised to find out that 60 FPS gamers are at a significant disadvantage compared to high refresh rate gamers, but I was surprised at how big the difference was between 144 and 240. So then, will high FPS and a high refresh rate monitor make you a great gamer? No. But will it make you a better gamer? Undoubtedly. So using a powerful graphics card like an NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti does help. Yeah! Okay, well, that's 5-0.